Hello. So now we're talking about meltdowns. It's me, Joshua from Ask the Child Whisperer. And I did a previous video about 3 different pushback styles: tantrum, meltdown versus flare-ups. I already explained in general how to coach a tantrum. Now in general, again, I'm going to talk about meltdowns. So meltdowns are extreme pushback to surprise. So it's not necessarily what you're asking your kid, it's just to your kid, it's coming out of left field. So either they can't do it, they don't want to do it, or they don't know how to do it. But remember, because it could be any of these possibilities, your child hasn't figured out how to express that to you. So you just get this blanket volcano eruption. So when your kid has meltdowns, and I think for some of you, you know what I'm talking about. These are big, these are intense. You're both sweating, you're both exhausted. And remember, the difference between a tantrum and a meltdown is a tantrum, you can still picture your day. Whereas a meltdown, you are literally off your tracks as a parent. You don't know what is possible 10 minutes from now, 30 minutes from now, well into the afternoon. It will throw possibly your whole day. It really impacts your mood and your energy levels as the adult. So imagine what it feels like for your child. So meltdowns require us to stop immediately. As soon as possible, you have to read the signs earlier. So if your kid does the tight arms or the balls up the fist, for some kids who have developed physical manifestations, the eyes blink, the head jerks back. There's like these little quirks, physical quirks that mean like the tension is already sky high within them. If I can catch them early, what's another example? Some kids' hands in the mouth, some kids starting to pull or twist hair. If I can get them in that moment, I say, oh, what surprised you? Generally, when I say what surprised you with kids having meltdowns, I touch them. I touch them at the same time. I'm hoping to stop their body from cycling so extremely. So I'm hoping to interrupt this meltdown cycle. So oh, what surprised you? So it's always curious face. It's not what surprised you, because that adds to their fear, that adds to their tension. So it's always this neutral curiosity. What surprised you? Wait, I said, and then you thought what? So I'm trying to give them the ability to offload some of the surprise onto me. So if you have a kid who typically melts down, it means you're probably going to hear something you don't want to hear. I hate putting on that shirt. I don't want to eat. They're going to say something that then overwhelms you probably, because we are all taught or convinced that if we communicate to children, they'll give us something we can work with. But children who fall into meltdown mode, they're pretty much giving you all their crap. Like it's like, blah. And so you have to train yourself not to be surprised. I will never put on those shoes. And so I hear it. I will never put on shoes. Okay, that's what I'm working with. You can't go into your logic of course you will, because those are the only pair we have. Oh, of course, I could never say this to my parents. You have to retrain yourself. You can hear that cycle of thought and say, yes, but I'm going to do something different. So being able to tell yourself, yes, people usually got spanked, but I'm going to do something different. Oh yeah, my parents usually whip me with, yes, but I'm going to do something different. So you're not trying to fight so many thoughts. Let them cycle through, but because you're letting it cycle through, you're not adding fuel to the kid's fire. You're generally quiet because you're allowing your mind to cycle through. Okay, that's plan A, not going to use that one. Oh yeah, people talk about this. Okay, I'm not going to use that one. Because your child sees you be a neutral, generally, even if they're having their meltdown and it continues, you're not adding to the intensity of it. So again, I'm asking them, oh, wait, what surprised you? Wait, what did you think? Wait, what was the tricky part? Wait, what did you think I was going to say? So already any of those questions give you information, something to work with. Once your child gives you the information to work with, figure out where they are in this meltdown. I mean, I have a lot of experience with this with my little clients and my own children. And so if I know someone is on level 2 and they generally go up to level 5, I'm not talking, I'm not trying to convince, and I'm also not panicking. I'm accepting, here we go. This is going to be 45 minutes to an hour. So I am now pacing myself. I'm pacing myself. So remember, if your runner is like, they're going to take off, but then they're going to lose energy and then go slow like a turtle, why would you try to beat them to the finish line? Because you can't coach when you're that distance from your kid. You want to be closer, a little bit more in sync with their tantrum. And remember, the same thing with tantrums as in meltdowns. We are not trying to stop them. We're trying to teach a child how to refine this pushback, how to refine this outburst, how to refine this reaction. And so I'm looking for, when kids melt down, I'm looking for, he didn't kick his feet as much. Oh my goodness, she didn't hit anything this time. All of that are markers of forward progress, of refining this outburst. So you can't keep looking at make it stop. You have to look at what didn't happen. Did it get shorter? Oh, when I talked, I was more neutral. So he was able to listen a little bit better. Or, oh my goodness, when I was like so curious and I touched her, she's never like clicked into me so quickly. So now we know, okay, I'm going to use that animated, that curiosity. Maybe that's the pacing, the energy that she can tap into. The other thing with meltdowns is there's a lot of shame or guilt that you can't control your child, or it's the extreme opposite, that you feel so sad and so guilty that your kid is suffering. Both of those registers won't help, because they will trigger too much stuff in you. So then you're lost in your own mind. You're almost having your own emotional meltdown while your kid is having their meltdown. So it becomes the blind leading the blind. So instead, I watch it unfold. I watch it unfold and I look for cues. So when a kid they do this big gasp and they're silenced, that's when I talk. Oh my goodness, hi, are you still surprised? If the child stops throwing things and is just still, that's my opportunity to hold a hand or to say, let's hug, let's hug. Because what you're hoping for is to teach the body to stop panicking, to just be in this moment. They are safe. They're not under threat. They will survive this feeling of fear, anxiety, anger. They will survive it. And so that's why a meltdown, you have to be aware that you just buffer your day when your kid is in this mode. If your kid is always having meltdowns, it's not realistic to plan things kind of on a typical schedule. So maybe you plan, let's say, a ballet class, but you getting up to go to the ballet class is probably going to be an hour prior to what other kids do, because your kid is you have to allow space. You have to budget for meltdowns and therefore recoveries. So because you were all so tired, generally after a meltdown, you have to know what is one thing that will replenish you, because chances are when your kids are in the throe of this really hard part of life, navigating a lot of surprises back to back, you will get depleted very quickly. So can you have, say, bars, water in your car to help nourish you? Can you have snacks or something for your kid because they're burning a lot of calories when they have these massive fits? So it's not just getting them through, it's about, oh, how do we recover? How do I recover so that I'm able to move forward with my child? Typically, the reason why I'm stressing this is because most parents are dehydrated and they're really hungry, or you're eating things that are putting you at a heightened awareness, right? Really high sugar, really high fat, really high salt, it sends you into a swirl, right? Your body isn't really leveled out. So you may become even more reactive. So think about foods that help fuel you in a way that, if you have to go at this thing 2 or 3 meltdowns a day, that you have the reserves in you, the food and the liquid you need to help you support your child over the course of the day. So I hope this was helpful. Meltdowns do happen for a variety of reasons, whether your child has a diagnosis, if they're neurodivergent or not. There are a lot of things that can send kids into this type of reaction for short periods of time or long periods of time. You don't have to try to figure it out on your own. Like, I'm here, I can give you a shortcut. But in the end, our job is to help our child figure it out. And this isn't really about us. It's about them learning to navigate and learning to read other people and expectations and deadlines and new experiences. That's what we're coaching. So yes, we're there to help, but it's really not about us. It's about our kid and the world. Hope this is helpful. Please reach out if you have any other questions. And if you're like, yeah, this is us, but I don't know what to do. I don't want to get an assessment. I'm terrified. There are lots of things you can do to support a child prior to getting an assessment. And so I'm the person for you. Have a great rest of the day.